Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. This is actually where life has me right now, is that I'm in my car at my daughter's horseback riding lessons. And in order to get this done, to be consistent with posting, I just had to do it in the car. So I'm going to give you a quick thought today, something that I've been chewing on and I feel like could possibly be beneficial to you. First of all, if you're just now tuning in, this is your first episode. Thank you so much for being a part. I really appreciate it. I'm going to do my best to keep the camera steady and try not to have too many distractions. But of course, here at my podcast and at my business, our goal is to try to help people in the ministry, believers, Christians who believe that they're called to do something great for God, to continue in their health, either find it or continue in their health so they can keep doing the thing God's called them to do. So if that's you and you need help, please don't hesitate to reach out. My email address will be in the show notes. And if you have a way to direct message me through Instagram, you can leave a comment on YouTube, anything like that, just reach out and I'm happy to help if I can. Anyway, today I want to talk about this thought of going from strength to strength, of the timeline of progress. Just real quick. So I got an email. I get emails from James Clear, who's the author of Atomic Habits. I'm on his newsletter, which I think 3 million other people are. It's like one of the largest newsletters. But he talks about a timeline, and he said, he put like months, ? Try 2 years. Okay. The point was, it takes a really long time to see progress in any particular area of life, especially if that area of life requires growth on your part. So he talked about, hey, it might take 2 years or a year for that book you're writing to start to take shape properly. It might take 2 years for you to really see the progress that you want to see in your physical fitness and in particular parts of your faith, maybe growing in patience or growing in your ability to trust the Lord. Like, these things take a long time. Unfortunately, in our culture, we are very accustomed to quick gratification. It's just cheap dopamine. Like, I can get on Instagram real quick and I can start scrolling. I can play a video game really quickly. If I need to know something, I can literally tap it into ChatGPT or I can tap it into Safari and just ask a quick question. I don't have to search. I don't have to push. I don't have to grow or exert myself significantly in order to get the thing that I'm looking for. So this has created a palette for us of needing quick results. And unfortunately, most things of substance in our life, most things of importance really take a long time to develop, especially the things that you see in other people that you would love to see in you, character traits, disciplines, ways of thinking, stuff like that. So I was reading the scriptures in Psalm 84, I think it is, or 85. I can't remember, but it talks about through the valley of weeping, they call it the valley of Baca, and creating springs, and those who trust the Lord go from strength to strength. And this idea of going from strength to strength, not deficit to strength, is kind of that tip towards consistency, towards perseverance, towards long haul thinking. And I want to encourage you that to start embracing the process of change now, so that when you go through the valley of struggle, or 23 says the valley of the shadow of death, like things are just dark or things get really difficult, you are in a place to go from strength to strength. You are in a place to go from, you're ready for this, I can handle it, rather than going from a place of, I was totally unprepared for this, and now life just punched me in the face and I'm totally not ready for this, right? Like, I saw a post the other day and it said, you can deadlift 500 pounds, but you can't run. So you're basically useless in a crisis. And that made me think, like, preparation has to be ready for the inevitable. Crisis will come. Things will happen. Life is going to take a turn that I don't want, right? And I have to be well-rounded enough in my faith and my fitness to potentially accommodate all issues, right? I'm not saying I'm going to dominate. It doesn't mean I'm going to win at everything, but it does mean I should not get destroyed by it. So I want to encourage you in this just real quick episode to embrace the idea of consistent growth over time. Extend out your horizons, meaning if you're trying to get fit, don't try to get fit in 2 months. It's not going to happen. The body does not change that fast. If you want to get fit, try a year, try 2 years, okay? If you want to grow that business, extend your horizons. Before you start taking money from the business, extend your horizons 18 months, 2 years, before you start living off of it. If you want to write a book, grow in your relationship with the Lord, or grow in the relationship with like your spouse, you start now and you take time. We have to let go of this idea of quick results. Quick results are cheap results. It doesn't take a lot of work to get, real quick dopamine hit off of junk food, off of, doom scrolling, all this other stuff. And that's why those things never add value to your life, okay? Food, quick, fast food, convenience, all this stuff, none of that adds value to your life. But like 12-hour cooked pot roast, my guy, that adds some value to me, right? Like, is good. It is obviously something I want to savor, right? So there's something to be said about slow, consistent, steady progress, going from strength to strength, not just always living in the moment and living near deficit, to where when something does happen, I'm not going from deficit, because when life really takes a turn, you're not in a surplus. If you're not in a place of strength, that doesn't mean you have to be the best. It doesn't mean you have to be the greatest. It doesn't mean your finances have to be all in complete order, but it does mean you can't be living hand to mouth. Your fitness can't be just waiting for one hill sprint for you to have a heart attack, right? Like, I saw like a video of, and I think this has gone around before, where a lady was, to get into her car. She's a bit overweight, and she was parked on a hill, and the stroller her baby was in started rolling down the hill, right? And she was so out of shape that she could not chase. No matter, a baby was rolling down the hill into traffic, and she was so out of shape that she just couldn't move enough to go rescue her child. Like, the terrible thought of losing a child was not enough to make those muscles work. Why? Because they'd never been worked. You're totally unprepared for the unexpected. So I want to just encourage you today. We're keeping it at 10 minutes, roughly, okay? Don't go from deficit living into surplus overnight. What you do is you build wealth, you build strength, you build competence, you build encouragement, you build confidence. One habit, one day, one decision at a time. So we have to get rid of this idea of, well, when it's necessary, I will come up to the challenge. You won't. I've been doing martial arts long enough to know that if you will compete at the same level that you train, okay? Probably worse because you're nervous. So, only rise to the level of your systems. You will not rise to the level of your own expectations or wishes. All right, so we go from strength to strength, guys. Grace. That means we're living in grace and we keep going in grace. That means we're walking in strength and we grow in strength. And we do that through daily consistent habits. We do that through daily consistent systems. We extend our horizons beyond quick, cheap dopamine, quick results, microwave Christianity, microwave faith, microwave fitness. Like, most of the guys that I ever see who are really young, who want to get really in shape, they do the quick route of getting on SARMs and steroids or other performance enhancing drugs. And because they don't have the mindset to grind it out for the long haul, their results come fast and leave fast. Okay? Let me just encourage you. The call that God has on you is a lifelong call. You should be growing in faith. I should not be living in a deficit and then praying for miracles when my habits have failed me once again, all right? Or my lifestyle choices have failed me, and now I need intervention from the Lord. I'm not saying we don't rely on God for everything, but there's also a responsibility for us to foundationally help be a part of that situation, okay? Of being part of that growth, right? My choices matter, right? So God bless you. Hope you have a great day. Go from strength to strength. If you want, reach out, check my email in the show notes. hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whichever one. Okay. You're blessed. Strength to strength. That's what God's called you to. See ya.